Colby?
Yeah, Barry?
Do you know what my favorite thing is?
No, what's that?
Meeting people's families, because it's so revealing. What's going on?
No one's going to guess this off that quote.
What's going on, guys? My name is Barry.
And this is Colby.
And this is Who Watches This. Jingle bells, jingle. How's it going, guys? It is the first week of December. And it is the first episode of December.
Christmas theme movies.
Christmas theme. And you know what it is? It's, we've been doing the podcast for a year now.
That's right.
Which is
Christmas
awesome.
movies was our released month.
Exactly. And so we had to do something special.
Yep.
And not surprising, which is Christmas movies. But we are trying to focus more on Christmas movies that you probably have overlooked.
Right.
As what this podcast always does.
Diamond in the rough. That's what
So, Colby, do you want to introduce the first movie of Christmas month?
Yeah, so I was unfamiliar with this movie. I don't know how this slipped by, because this is totally the kind of Christmas movie that I would watch. Like, maybe even in the theater. Right. Fred Claus.
Yep, sorry, guys. We're not doing Elf. That's way too popular. I think Fred Claus does not get enough credit.
Absolutely. Yeah, so unfortunately, yeah, of course, everybody loves Elf. Everybody loves, like, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. We will not be reviewing those because everybody already loves them.
Right. And so I know for a lot of people, for some reason, a lot of people do not like Vince Vaughn.
You know, when I very first saw Vince Vaughn movies, like, he's like an acquired taste. I didn't necessarily like him, and then I think he won me over in Dodgeball.
Oh,
and then going back and rewatching some of his old movies, I very much appreciated him more. And now I feel like he's got the super dry delivery, and I just love him now.
Yeah, it's almost like an American version of British humor that he brings to the table.
Yes.
The first movie I ever watched Vince Vaughn in was, I was like really young. It was Swingers with John Farver.
Okay.
Farver. I don't know how to say his name. And that's not a movie for a 10-year-old to understand. Oh man, but Vince Vaughn has always had like this weird delivery system where it's a different kind of funny, and I think the reason, like you said, the reason why I think a lot of people aren't as excited about him is because he has really dry humor.
Right, yeah, he's like the funniest comedian actor who doesn't ever tell a joke.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think I don't know, his rants in his movies are always just hilarious.
Right, we were just kind of joking about that, about like, I wonder how much of that is like pre-scripted or if it's just off the cuff.
Right. Oh man, so we're gonna try to get into this pretty early. I was surprised that this movie was almost 2 hours. It's
like the only thing I didn't like about the movie was like it really should have been an hour and a half.
Okay.
And it kind of like just a little bit in the middle that kind of is like a little stretched.
Yeah. Well, I think. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Oh no, I think it was just like the adage of, that's not a word, of the conflict with Lex Luthor, Kevin Spacey.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Right, and I think that's what dragged it on just a little bit.
Right.
And some of the scenes where they have an intervention, I was like, did they really have to have that scene in there? But, like, for me, it didn't even feel that long.
No,
right?
Agreed.
And so we're going to get into it. We're going to go through a really just basic plot overview of this movie. And not try to get too caught up onto the small details like I always tend to do. So we start the story from way back then, where Saint Nicholas or Santa Claus is first born.
Yep, in a cabin in the woods.
It happened in the woods. His mother is Kathy Bates.
Yep.
Which like after watching a whole bunch of like American Horror Story, I was like terrified for the child. I mean, it was still a horror story, but it was only a horror story for St. Nicholas's bigger brother, Fred Claus.
That's true. Yeah, because Kathy Bates was a witch in one of the seasons of American Horror Story. So that does explain why she would have a kind of a superhuman child.
And it's funny because like with the I don't know what you call him, but the doctor at that time was like, "This is the fattest baby I've ever seen." I was like, that's kind of a rude thing to tell a mother.
He's like, explain why Santa's fat like from birth.
And his first word is "ho," and I was like, that's not a thing you should call your mom. No, but Fred, he accepts his brother at first.
Right. In fact, wants to be the best big brother ever.
Which is a very hard thing to do when your brother is literally born a saint.
Yeah.
Because as they're growing up, it's very evident that Nick has a very giving nature.
Yes.
Right? But Fred, and so his mother is always impressed by Nick's goodwill nature. Whereas Fred, every time he does something to get recognition from his parents, is overshadowed by his brother.
Right. Accidentally. Like, the little brother Nicholas isn't trying to outshine his brother. He just is so good that everything he does is just
amazing. It's amazing. But, and it's just really bad timing. And I think the last straw was when Fred was in the tree talking to his pet bird. And his brother cuts down the tree, and he's like, "Oh, because you love this tree so much, it's going to be our Christmas tree."
Oh, right. And that was the first Christmas tree. You love this tree, so we're going to bring it into the house so we can all enjoy it.
Yeah. And unfortunately, Nick did not know that his pet bird was over there. And so cutting down the tree, he destroys the birdhouse, and then his bird flies away.
Yeah.
And so from that very point on, Fred is very negative towards his brother.
Pretty much negative towards the rest of the world.
Yeah.
And certainly does not like his mother.
Well, I mean, like, come on. Like, at least he didn't become a at least he didn't become a psycho. Yeah, at least he didn't become a killer, right? One of the major things I had issue with, though, in the movie was that when when somebody becomes a saint, they apparently become immortal.
Right.
But also that saint's family becomes immortal.
I guess I didn't study enough Catholicism to know that was a fact.
I don't think it is. There's huge issues with that. Because then you're just birthing immortals.
That's true. I wonder how far down the birth line,
right?
That
goes.
Wears off,
right? But so no, we flash forward. Fred is now an adult.
Yep.
He's also a repo man, which is very fitting.
So fitting. I would thought that
Yin
was
and yang.
So clever.
But they don't really do too much with that. We see this scene where he pretty much lays out some girl's future, which is very depressing. But you could tell that Fred has good nature in him. He does look after a kid that's from the upstairs who's from a bad home.
Right.
And he always looks out for him. He's like, "Hey, do you want milk? Do you want food?" and all that stuff. And even later onto the film where the kid runs into his house, he's like, can you tell them you're my dad? He does so, even without knowing, no questions asked. He just does it. So Fred has some good nature in him, but he's also very selfish at the same time, because he has a beautiful British girlfriend who is a meter cop or meter maid.
Yeah.
And so they've been together for 3 years. She's in love with Fred because he's a very silver tongue type of guy.
That's a good way to say it. Yeah.
Right? He's very smooth. He's able to get her to laugh even when she's extremely mad at him.
Right.
For missing things, and even for the birthday that he didn't plan for. But apparently he's really wrapped up because he's trying to get a storefront in front of the Chicago Stock Exchange, I believe.
Right. Yeah.
Do we know what he's trying to open?
It sounded like he wanted to open a casino.
Okay. I thought he was trying to open up like a food place. But they never really stated, right? He's just trying to get this space that's in front of this Chicago downtown business building. And so he's trying to round up $50,000. He does some sketchy stuff like fake a charity. And then he gets...
People helping people.
Yeah. And then he gets hunted down by all these Salvation Army Santas.
Right. Again, because of the silver tongue, he is like, he's next to a Salvation Army guy and then a Salvation Army Santa, and he's good enough talker that everybody's donating to his bucket instead of Salvation Army's.
Yeah, but he's also taking money out of people's wallets. He's like, no, just donate all that.
But nobody seems to complain. They're like, oh, it's for a good cause.
Yeah. Which, okay, if you guys don't know, it is super illegal to do this. Do not fake charities.
Right.
And then keep the money. I'm pretty sure it's like a federal offense. I'm not 100% sure.
I feel bad because, like, when we were kids, like, we used to, like, go around and fake that one of us was sick, and we were like, hey, we're a charity and we're trying to get this kid an operation, and we would like go to door. That was back when you could go door to door without getting shot or
molested.
Yeah. And we would like collect things like out of the things that were like decent, that were like into the trash, and then like go door to door and try to sell them. Be like, hey, look, somebody threw away a collection of Discover magazines or Time magazines. Let's go try to sell these.
Yeah, but it was like the 70s, so you can kind of get away with that stuff.
It's true.
You know, there's a lot of things that got away in the 70s, like bell bottoms and disco.
Right.
Wait, no, did disco die in the 70s?
I think it did.
Yeah.
What? Disco never died. No,
and so to get this, so he gets caught up by the Santa Claus, the Salvation Army, and then he goes to jail. Obviously,
oh yeah, because he gets jumped by like a herd of Santas.
And obviously he misses the birthday dinner that he was supposed to have with his girlfriend,
right,
at this super romantic place,
which looked like it would have been the awesomest place for you to go with the guys and hang out and have some brews, but not necessarily romantic.
Yeah, because there is a sumo wrestling happening in the middle of the restaurant, which, you know what, it was probably like a couple cigarettes away from being friggin' kumite. And just like one Asian dude walking around taking bets. So his last resort is to go to his brother, ask his brother for bail money, and then he tries to trick his brother into giving him $50,000.
Yeah.
Of course, Santa Claus, being Santa Claus, is like, no, how about you come up here, visit, and you can earn $50,000.
Yeah, his wife intervenes a little, and she's like, tough love. And he's like, okay, well, I'm tough loving you, and so instead of not giving you the money, you have to come visit me, and then you can have the money.
And he only has to work maybe like 6-7 days for it.
Right, yeah.
Because it is, his deadline is the 22nd, and he's like, I have to leave by the 22nd. And so even if, it's St. Nick, so I guess how tough can he get, right? Unless you're South Park St. Nick, then you're a badass.
Yeah.
And so his brother picks him up in his in the sleigh with Willie,
right?
Which is pretty much his partner at this moment, for this whole movie. and he goes to the south, or he goes to the North Pole. He finds out that all he has to do is stamp paperwork and of kids naughty or nice.
Right. Yep.
Now, while all this is happening, Santa Claus apparently has somebody from HR.
They don't really explain, but somebody who's like an auditor from the board.
Yeah. I guess maybe there was never a sequel, so we never got to find out who this council of demigods are.
Right, yeah.
And so, but he's there to audit the work, to see if Santa Claus can get all these gifts out, because from the time that he started to now, the gifts that are being asked of him has increased exponentially. Where kids were only asking for 1 or 2 gifts are now asking for 15 to 18 gifts.
Right, and now there's 200 million of them instead of 100,000 of them.
Right, and I'm pretty sure Santa was like, "Oh, they're just one play. Come on, you got it this year." Oh, that's bad. I might have to edit that one out. Nah, I'm not gonna. I'm gonna keep it in. And so all that's happening during this whole time. Obviously, there's a little bit of tension because Fred is more of a wild card.
Right.
Right. DJ Ludacris constantly is playing "Here Comes Santa Claus," and for anybody that is not an elf or Santa Claus, he's like, "No, we got to play something else," and he gets all the elves to he gets them all riled up.
Yes, because they never really heard rock.
Yeah, they're like, "Oh, it's so loud," and I like it. But apparently, of course, Santa Claus is like, "No, we can't listen to this right now. We need to make gifts. Don't distract them." And so we go through a little battle here, back and forth between Santa Claus or Saint Nick or Nick wanting to reconnect with Fred and wanting his family to be together again.
Right.
And while this is all happening, it seems like Kevin Spacey, who plays Clyde, the auditor, wants to sabotage Santa Claus.
Yeah, because it sounds like he's already gotten rid of Easter altogether. Yeah. He's downsized the Tooth Fairy to only the first tooth gets a payoff.
I mean, where's this money coming from? That's what I want.
And he thinks that he can
shut down
export Christmas to the South Pole and do it for half the price. Yeah.
This movie is just an allegory for capital America.
Pretty much.
Yeah, and so when Kevin Spacey finds out that there's a rift between Fred and Nick because when he goes to dinner, he says the line that we said at the beginning of the movie or the episode where he's like, "I love meeting families because it's so revealing." Because he's, auditors are way too observant. And he finds
and Fred was happy to go to dinner with Nick, but then when he found out Mom and Dad were in town also, the dinner was a little more stressful.
Yeah, because his mom, she didn't mean to, but she gave a lot more love to Nick because of how amazing he is.
Yeah.
Right. I don't.
And
think
even still, he's still like, "Oh yeah, no, you're what are you doing for work?" And then, Nick even makes a joke. He's like, "Yeah, but remember, Fred sent you the massage chair for Christmas last year." And Fred's like, "What? No, I didn't." And he's like, "Wink, wink." And he's like, "What, you got something in your eye?"
He's like, "I can blink." No, he's like, "I can blink too." I think the pairing of Paul Giammati and Vince Vaughn is really good.
Yeah.
I want to see them in a movie, like in a comedy together.
Yes, they play really well off each other.
I mean, not saying that I don't like him and Owen Wilson, but Paul Giamatti he's such an enigmatic actor,
right?
That you really can't put Paul Giamatti in any type of box. And I think that's one thing that Paul Giamatti really shines at in this whole thing. But yeah, so we get to it. We find out Clyde is starting to sow the seeds of doubt.
Right.
You know, he's like he gives him this whole tree metaphor where he's saying
about how a small tree doesn't grow in the shade of a bigger tree.
Yeah.
And that sometimes you have to trim the big tree back to be able to get enough sun for the small tree to grow.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, by the way, he does go to see his girlfriend, and who's there? Negan hitting on her.
Oh, right. Yep.
Or John Winchester hitting on her for you Supernatural fans. No, he uses the globe to go see his friend, the little kid from upstairs, Slam.
Yeah.
Slam, I think, Gordon or something. And he sees that the things that he taught the little guy is now affecting him and his outlook on life.
Right, yeah. Because now he's in an orphanage or waiting for foster care or something.
Yeah, he's like in a foster home or something like that. And he's trying to tell the other kids, like, Santa Claus ain't shit.
He just drives around because he wants attention.
Yeah. Which, of course, gets all the other kids upset because, you know, that's a latch, like, that's like sort of a shred of hope they could hold on to.
Right, yeah.
You know, and then so I think that's what really sets him off. And then he decides to name every naughty kid nice.
Right, yep. So he goes through the whole stack instead of...
Yeah, and they're all nice. And then now they're way behind production because this paperwork has been submitted and they can't afford to make all these toys. They don't have the time to make all these toys. Yep. And so that was going to be strike 3, which Clyde has said, if you get 3 strikes, we're going to shut this operation down. Yep. And Nick, he gets sick during this time. I think he hurts his back.
Well, because they have the snowball fight.
Oh, yes. Yeah, which is... Yeah,
I guess you got 2 brothers who hate each other, or not hate each other,
well, like
but are
Fred
at odds.
Has, yeah.
And you know, you're in the North Pole, but you can have major snowball fight.
Right. Oh man. And then so Fred just goes off because he's like, hey, I finished my job, give me my $50K and I'm out of here.
Yep.
And so he goes. Everything is shutting down at the North Pole. But I forgot what gets him back to the North Pole.
So, because he gets the present.
Yes, he gets the birdhouse present from his brother, and it says, because he tells his brother, I need to cut you down so I can get some sunshine and grow. Yeah. And so when he gets the birdhouse, this is after the snowball fight that they had. It says, go and cut that tree down.
Yeah, and then it says, it says, cut down that tree. Sorry, I cut down your tree.
Yeah. You know, and so after that, he decides to take the $50K, and he has to travel by regular means. Which I don't know if there's any trip.
It's a lot slower and more expensive to get there if you're not taking reindeer-pulled sled.
Yeah, he's using that whole $50K. I'm pretty sure that... I don't know if he's an Eskimo or whatever who's on the sled. He's like, yeah, go 10 more miles that way. And in my mind, if I was him, I was like, I don't know where he's going. Maybe this is just how he wanted to die. Because you're in the North Pole, right?
Right, like, and nobody knows that Santa lives up there. Right.
Oh, man. So he ends up getting back to the North Pole. He pulls everything back together. He's like, listen, we can make hula hoops and baseball bats for every kid.
Right. He's like, what's the fastest, cheapest toys we can make? Yeah.
Yeah, and then Elizabeth Banks says, oh, she's Santa's helper. For you guys, we haven't mentioned her. She says that's not what they asked for, but you know, Fred is like, they should just be happy to get something, you know.
Right.
They should be grateful for anything, you know. And so they get back to production. Fred Claus says he asks Willie to send all the gifts. Willie can't drive it because only a Claus can deliver presents.
Yep.
And at this point, Nick has hurt his back because of the snowball fight. And so Fred decides to go deliver it. He's delivering all over the world, but Clyde stops the navigation system.
Right, just powers it down.
Yeah, and this is where him and Nick have a moment where Nick says, "Oh, you're that kid from '68 who wanted a Superman cape because all the kids kept bullying him, calling him four-eyed Glide," which is actually really hilarious. There's a lot of four-eyed jokes out there, but that one rhymed. And he convinces Clyde. He's like, "Listen, I need you to not be Clark Kent. I need you to be Superman for the kids of the world." And gets him back on his side. Unfortunately, the power does not come back on because of the paperwork he processed.
Yep.
And so Nick and Willie are flying blind, but they get the job done, which is awesome.
Yeah, they do.
And the moment they get back, the moment that sunrise cracks over the North Pole, Willie walks into the bar and gives Elizabeth Banks a good old smooching.
Yeah, because there's been like this she doesn't ever remember his name, and he is obviously quite smitten with her, like the whole movie. So,
yeah. I mean, she's also like the only other normal
size person, yeah.
And and Fred and Nick have this moment. Nick says, "You're the best big brother ever," and they finally reconcile.
Yep.
Fred ends up going back to Chicago and breaking into his girlfriend's house, and
she's like, "You can't break into here. That's against the law." And he's like, "Oh, don't worry. I've been breaking into houses all night long."
He's like, and then he goes, he's like, "And it's not really breaking in because I live here now," which is like a little. It gets into the stalker type.
Yes, but it's romantic because the very first fight they have is because he refuses to talk to her about moving in whenever she asks.
Yeah. And the gift that he does give her is of a bear with a Paris flag on it.
Right, which was
or France flag.
Which was supposed to be the first anniversary present, or the first birthday present.
And then he took her to a Indian casino in like Michigan. Yeah, so like that's a nice little callback. And then he abuses the company car because he has Willie use the sled to take him and her around Paris,
right? Yeah,
in a view you'll never be able to see it.
Let me show you the world.
Right. Oh man. And then Nick finally gets the present that he's always wanted, is to have a nice family dinner with his brother and his parents.
Yep.
And his mom is like, "Hey, don't mess this thing up because I really like your girlfriend / fiance." And nothing's really resolved between the two, but I think Fred has just put that behind him. He's just accepted. He's like, "You can't teach the old dog new tricks,"
Right.
Oh, and then we get to the end of the film. It ends like on a pretty happy note.
Right, because then it's him and his girlfriend together, and then they're basically coaching a little league team. With
Slam.
With Slam.
So I'm pretty sure it's the orphanage that they're in. And so and then what's it called? Willie and Elizabeth Banks have ended up together. Clyde ends up working at the North Pole, teaching everybody Excel spreadsheets. And then Santa Claus, he gets back to doing his Santa Claus thing.
Yep.
Kobe, what are some of your favorite parts of this film?
Okay, so we totally skipped over the Vince Vaughn trying to teach Willie how to dance.
Because there's another 15 minutes you could have just cut out.
Oh, no, I love that part. They're in Frosty's saloon or whatever, and and he's talking about how he's smitten with
Elizabeth Banks,
and Vince Vaughn's like, "You just dance, get her to go because at the Christmas party you should just dance with her because women love that." And he's like, "Oh, I don't know how to dance," and he's like, "Oh, nah, you don't know how to dance yet." And then there's this, it's great.
Yeah.
Like him teaching him.
Yeah.
It's
Well, I think
like him teaching a 5-year-old how to dance.
Yeah, it's like the proportions are super awkward in this film because when he gets to the slow dancing part, Willie's face is at his crotch.
Right. Hands on his butt.
Yeah. And he's like, yeah, I mean, you don't want to put it there just yet. Yeah, and then he gets all the elves to really loosen up.
Yep.
Which is like a good balance between him and Nick. Where like, Nick is good-willed and all that stuff, but a tad bit boring. And Fred is all fun, but a little bad.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you like, Kobe?
And
Any favorite scenes?
And then the other one that we kind of passed over is the Brothers Anonymous, or Siblings Anonymous.
Oh yeah. Explain that scene to everybody.
So he goes to a meeting of Siblings Anonymous, which is people who have issues with their siblings, and it's Frank Stallone starting off with being in the shadow of Sylvester, and then is it Roger Clinton being in the shadow of Bill. And then when he tries to interrupt Robert,
Steve Baldwin.
So yeah, Steve Baldwin gets up, and the therapist is like, "Wait, stop! This is not Alec.
He's not Alec.
He's not Alec. Say it out loud. He's not Alec. Say it again." But that was such a clever and I can't believe that they got those people to do that. I guess those people aren't working a whole lot, so it's probably not that hard to get them. But it was a clever put together.
No, but my favorite line from that whole exchange was when what's Bill Clinton's brother's name?
Roger,
when he's like, "I wasn't ready to be the president's first brother, but I am ready to be Bill's brother." Oh yeah, and
it was moving, yeah.
Yeah, I think that was the moment where what's it called? Fred was like, I have to get back and fix this whole mess.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, and then also we can't forget about the rant to the little girl at the beginning of the movie.
That was classic Vince Vaughn.
Yeah, and me and Kobe were talking about this, but we just feel that Vince Vaughn had probably just improv that entire scenario.
Right.
Because it is so dark.
I could see there being like extras or like cutscenes, and there being like 5 versions of this rant.
So to set up the scene, he's repoing a girl's 55-inch flat screen TV, which for 2007, that is expensive.
Right.
Right, and he tells this girl basically, he's like, "I'm doing you a favor. Now you're gonna go outside, be more athletic, and then you're gonna gain enough confidence. And then when you get to high school, you can play sports, get good enough, and then you can get a partial scholarship. Do you have any ethnicity in your background? I'm pretty sure you do. Put that in your college application. Boom. Now you have a little extra money on the side." And he goes on to say, like, then you'll meet a guy, then maybe you get pregnant. Oh, good luck for you. The guy's really in love with you, or maybe he's not. Doesn't matter, because now you have love in your life because you have that child. Unfortunately, you had that child before you even graduated high school, or before you graduate college. And the girl's just like, wow.
Right. And he's like, yeah. And did the guy in the red suit give that to you? No. Fred did.
And then he berates the father. He's like, oh, your daughter kicks. Who does she get that from, huh? Another funny scene in here, too. One of my favorites is actually the fight with DJ Ludacris.
Oh, there's another kicking scene, yeah, right?
Well, funny thing is, Fred goes into the DJ booth. He's like, no. All right, you cannot keep playing Here Comes Santa Claus.
Right.
And Ludacris goes.
And like he even announces, like every time Santa walks into a room, he's like, hey, everybody, Santa's here. Here comes Santa Claus. Here comes.
And then, but Ludacris goes, but it's so catchy. And so Fred tries to remove DJ Ludacris from his station.
Right.
And Ludacris is extremely violent towards Fred.
Oh, yeah. He does not want anybody else touching his turntable.
But Fred is like, what are you trying to do? No, you have to stop being so violent with me, all right? Look, I don't want to have to manhandle you, but I will. And then he ends up putting him in the closet.
Right. It picks him up by the belt and just carries him like luggage.
It's like how you would pick up a kid in diapers. Like, oh, man. And then he plays a rock song and gets the entire factory just super hyped up.
Yep.
Raises their morale because there's this full-size person just really rocking out.
Oh, yeah.
And it's hard to not get suckered into that energy.
Oh, right. No, I was loving that scene until till Santa walks in and you see like bikes and toys and stuff just falling off conveyor belts.
Production didn't stop.
Yeah. They didn't pause that, but they just stopped to dance.
It's funny too. So this came out in 2007, but Kevin Spacey was Lex Luthor in 2008. Superman Returns.
Yep.
And so I thought it was really funny when Kevin Spacey got this Superman cape, and even at the end when he was working with everybody, he still had the cape on.
Yeah. That was super cute when Santa walks by and kind of just tucks it into his sweater a little. And he's like, what? And he's like, nice sweater.
Which just goes to show you that everybody, I think it's even more evident now as grown-ups watching like anime and playing video games is more accepted. That not like, everybody needs a little bit of that childlike nature.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And I gotta tell you, like, this movie ended, and I literally, had a tear in my eye. Like, it was like the brotherhood bond between the two of them when he's like you get the little elf and Elizabeth Banks kiss, and you're already like, feeling all warm and cuddly. And then he was like, you know what, Fred, you are the best big brother ever. And I'm all like, oh. I'm glad no one's here to watch this.
Except your cat, Lemon Drop, judging you.
Yeah. She was looking at me.
Yeah, this movie had just a ton of really good positive messages, which that's why it's kind of bewildering that this movie isn't as big as Elf.
Right, and whenever we watch these movies, I always kind of go through other people's reviews and stuff. Nobody liked this movie. Why? Every single review trashed this movie.
Why?
And I was like, this was so entertaining. Like, I'm literally putting this into the Christmas rotation on movies.
Because I think this movie had really good pacing, which, I mean, you should if it's a 2-hour-long movie.
Right.
But it had good pacing. It had a decent villain who wasn't overly evil, but you understood him.
Right.
Why he was doing the things that he was doing. I mean, there's a little too many subplots with Willie and Elizabeth Banks and all that stuff. But I mean, it was pretty cute.
But they don't overplay it.
Yeah.
So it's just a kind of little side.
It's little moments.
Yeah.
With them, and then you have Fred who tries to teach Saint Nicholas that there's not really bad kids. You know, everyone has their own situations, and
it's not about the good kids getting everything they want. It's about every kid getting something.
Yeah, just to show them that, because this is where in the point of the movie, this is where we know where Fred's coming from. Or at least Nick knows where Fred's coming from.
Right.
Because
because he looked back and he was like, if you looked at my house, Nicholas was the good kid who got everything he wanted.
Yeah.
And I was the bad kid who never got anything. Even though I wasn't a bad kid, I was just not as good as the good kid.
Exactly, yeah. And I think that message or that point comes across to Nick. Where,
right.
He tried, but, it's just when you're constantly overshadowed and constantly overlooked, that you can start to have a sour attitude about the world.
Oh, right. Yep.
Which, I mean, yeah, Fred did carry over in his hundreds of years on Earth. But I think the moment where he saw that his outlook was poisoning this kid that he cares about, he decides he needs to change.
Right. Yep.
Right. And then he does something really sweet. He does give Slam a puppy.
Yeah, because that's what Slam's talking about at the very beginning when he's like, oh, I'm gonna ask Santa for a puppy. Yeah. And that's when he's like, Santa, he just flies around because he wants attention.
Yeah. And it was really sweet too because at the end of the movie, his resolution is also finished because Slam does find a family.
Right. Yep.
That's super. And because for me, I kept thinking that Fred was gonna adopt Slam.
Right. Like when he and his girl were gonna get together and then end up.
Yeah, and they end up coaching Little League and stuff like that.
Yep.
I was like, oh, did he adopt them? Oh, okay, whatever. Yeah, but so like I feel like this movie had enough good messages where, I'm surprised that like people are like, oh, it's so stupid. Santa Claus doesn't have brother. Like, do you remember any of the reviews that came from this movie?
Just the ones I watched today. They were all just hated everything about this.
I just think maybe they just hate Vince Vaughn.
Maybe. Yes, if you are not a fan of Vince Vaughn, this would be a much tougher movie to get through. Because like another great part was when he's talking to the shop, the guy who's the landlord about getting the shop. And the guy's like, I need the money by the 22nd. He's like, yeah, no, the 22nd, 23rd, 4th, 5th, whatever. I'll get you your money. And he's like, no, I need it on the 22nd. Yeah, 22nd, 23rd at the latest.
What he's like, Fred, I need you to say 22nd. I need to know that I said the 22nd. He's like, yeah, 23rd at the latest. Yeah, I feel like I think maybe it's because everybody has somebody that's sort of like Vince Vaughn.
Yes.
Very, very sarcastic, a smart aleck.
Yeah.
You could only be around sometimes, not all the time. I don't know. Vince Vaughn, I think it took time for him to grow on me as well. I think, what did it do? I mean, I liked him in Psycho. But that's a movie where I didn't know he was comedic.
Right.
Because that one was a much more serious role.
Yeah.
Oh God, I guess it could just be Dodgeball for me, where I was like, he's pretty funny.
And then there was Wedding Crashers was either before or after.
Yeah, that one's hilarious.
And that one.
The scene that did it for me is like, "What'd you do? Did you motorboat those? Did you motorboat son of a?" Yeah.
But he does one of those little monologue things about taking home the bridesmaid.
Oh yeah, was Amy Adams? No, not Amy Adams. Jenna Fisher.
Yeah.
No, not Jenna Fisher. Jeez, the girl who's the sister though, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. He's just so good at like these random monologues where it's probably not scripted. I feel like
I almost like it more if I know that it's not scripted. Like if he's just coming like free flow in that's
hot out the gate.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and then we also have to talk about Paul Giamatti, because Paul Giamatti in this movie as Santa Claus at first was really weird to me, but he does not let Vince Vaughn overtake him as far as like one of the main leads of this movie.
He definitely stands out, even though like it feels like we talked much more
about
because
Vince
the movie
Vaughn
was about Fred. So
yeah,
I mean he's in it more, but
I mean no, he Vince what's it called Giammati he's really good playing off of Vince Vaughn.
Yeah,
he's quippy enough, and it feels natural that the way that they talk to each other, it's like he matches Vince Vaughn's style.
Right. Very much so.
Yeah. Chameleon.
Like when they have they have the intervention because they're like, Fred keeps messing up, so we're gonna have an intervention, and they have like the Secret Service elves go and kidnap him.
Yeah, and that is also a scene where like his girlfriend, the meter maid,
right,
does find out that, oh my God, you're Santa Claus's
right,
bigger brother.
Because he's like, I gotta go help my brother, and she's like, 3 years ago when we met, you said you didn't have a brother, and he's like, well, I do, but I don't like to talk about him. And then you find out, you're like, oh, well, because he's Santa Claus. That would be hard to
sell.
Yeah, he was like, "Oh, okay, you're a crazy person."
I mean, even at Siblings Anonymous, when he's like, "Santa Claus is my brother,"
and right, and Frank Stallone's like, "Yeah, I feel like my brother's my Santa Claus." He's like, "No, that's not what I meant. My brother's actually Santa Claus."
And then that's where Stephen Baldwin flips out.
Yeah.
He's like, "You think this is a fucking joke, man?" Which is super awesome. I think it's hilarious that, like, yeah, Stephen Baldwin looked like he would freak out about it. Because like I didn't grow up during the whole Baldwin phase, but like there was like the Baldwin brothers. Was there, besides Alec and Stephen,
Billy
Baldwin?
Yeah.
I don't know how that family like was famous.
It's like Kardashians.
Was that what it is?
It's kind of like that. Like one of them started to get famous, and then the name just kind of brought them all.
Oh, so Alec Baldwin is like the Kim Kardashian?
Yes, definitely.
I always had the same thoughts about the O'Connells too. Like Jerry O'Connell, I was like, you're just not that good. Even in the 90s sense, you're not that good. Oh man, yeah.
It was Steve and I actually met at a comic convention.
Oh.
He was promoting Biodome.
Oh, with Pauly Shore?
Pauly Shore wasn't there. That was actually, I went into like go see the little panel because I liked Pauly Shore, and he wasn't there, but Steven was. And then afterwards, I met him and like shook his hand, and I did not buy an 8x10 for $20 to have him sign.
Did he like pressure you into that, or
no? I like that was like
an
like
option.
he was like shaking hands and stuff, and you know, if you had something for him to sign, he would. And then he had like 8x10 like headshots if you wanted to buy one, but they were like $20, and I was like, I don't necessarily want that.
Yeah, because what are you gonna do with that? Like frame it up in your house? He's like, this is my signed photo of Steve Baldwin. And if someone's going to come into your house, Kobe, is like, you don't have the decency to have Alec Baldwin up there.
No, I have the more talented brother. I don't know what movies you've been watching.
Biodome. Oh, man. Yeah, that part was hilarious. I liked the kid that was the actor in this movie. He was like in a whole bunch of things in the early 2000s.
Yes.
He was also in that one movie, Role Models, with Paul Rudd and
that was a very entertaining movie as well.
Yeah, I know. I think we're gonna have to have a Paul Rudd month. What do you say there, bud?
I am totally down with that.
There's gonna be a lot of movies that you guys never heard of, like Overnight Delivery with Reese Witherspoon. What's up? Oh man, but no. So back to Fred Claus. We're getting to the end of our episode, so you know what we always do. We do our ratings, and if this is the first time you're with us, our ratings are in 4 levels. It is stream it, DVD it, Blu-ray it, and Ultimate Box Collection, which I think should come with the Tim Allen Christmas movie.
I would probably go box collection if we did that.
I really thought this was a continuation from the Tim Allen Christmas movies. Oh no, Kobe.
I don't think I ever saw the third Tim Allen movie with Jack Frost. With Stephen Short as Jack Frost.
Oh jeez, that should have never been a franchise, honestly.
But yeah, no, I would. I might do this Blu-ray.
Oh, you liked it enough?
I really enjoyed this. Like it blew my mind when I went and looked at the reviews afterwards, and the reviews were
horrible,
so bad. It was because I was like I literally like I laughed multiple times through the movie, and then like no joke had like I wasn't like teary, like I wasn't crying, but that like really brought a tear to my eye at the end. I was like, that's a moving scene. I like.
Well, there's a lot of good messages in this movie.
Yeah,
and I feel like, look, I'm not shitting on Elf, but it's not as good as you think. Oh man, we're gonna get so many downvotes on this episode. I just think that this movie had a good amount of messages. It covers a lot of bases. Like, no good kid is a naughty kid. They're just kids in weird, sometimes difficult situations.
Right. Yep.
Or there's something else going on, and that even if you're a saint, you still have things to learn.
Yep.
These are things, and then like you also see the other side of it. Like when a kid who's been branded naughty his entire life, he grows up to be like Kevin Spacey in this movie.
Right. Yeah.
He's just hurt, or he's just been hurt.
Yeah. Yeah, and he even makes reference to to how he's like Fred, where his brother's a doctor and his mom doesn't understand his job, so his brother gets all the attention.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I think everyone should just give this movie another chance. If you haven't seen it, watch it. Or if you did see it and you let Rotten Tomatoes sour your view on this movie, just watch it. Watch it with your kids.
Absolutely.
Right,
and it is clean enough. It's got enough adult humor in for all ages.
Yeah.
But it is clean. It is clean enough. No swearing, no nudity, nothing like that. I'm like, it definitely is like kid friendly.
Yeah, there's enough for everybody to enjoy this movie, which is like a little hard to say because some Christmas movies are it's just too Christmassy.
Right.
I mean, of course, you can't really knock the classics like Miracle on 34 and the Scrooge one. What is it called? Night Before Christmas? No, that's no, it isn't.
Yeah, we did Scrooge last year as the
the Bill Murray one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, but I'm talking about the old one.
Right.
Yeah. With those are classic holiday movies, but like movies today, they're sometimes too kiddie, where it's just like, oh yeah, just let the kids watch it, and there's nothing really there for the adults.
Right. Yeah.
But I think Vince Vaughn brings enough clean adult humor to this. I mean, I was like, listen, that rant that he has to that kid is really the most darkest thing you'll hear in this whole movie. You can't lay out a child's future like that and let it be so grim. Like, she's all like, I'm pretty sure her mind's like, I don't even make it out of college without a kid. So you'd go Blu-ray for this movie?
I think I would.
For your Halloween, because Colby's really big on like holiday movies.
I am. I like all the holidays.
He's also very strict. If you ever meet him in person, ask him about his pumpkin rule. He is very adamant.
I've got a hard line rule. Pumpkin, nothing pumpkin till Thanksgiving, and then Thanksgiving through the end of the year. You try to stop at Christmas, but if there's a little leftover, you have the leeway to the end of the year. Starting the 1st, no pumpkin until November.
Oh yeah, and if you try to if you trick him into eating pumpkin, he might not talk to you for a long time.
Right. I look at it this way. I said everybody in life has to have one hard rule they never bend. And one of my friends was like, I think my hard rule is going to be don't kill. And I'm like, see, now if it came down to it and I needed to, I could defend myself by killing somebody. So look, I that's not a rule of mine. Like self-defense.
All right.
But pumpkin, no.
Yeah.
Thanksgiving and after, that's it.
That's it. Do not try to tempt me, Starbucks, with your pumpkin spice lattes.
We're at like 15 years of that rule.
Was this a rule that was instilled from like your childhood?
When I first moved out, I really liked pumpkin pie, and I just, whenever there was pumpkin pie, I would get it and I would eat it. But I have this weakness. Like, I can say no to something in the store, but like once it comes home with me, then it's like there in front of me, and I have to eat the whole thing. I'm like, I'm just gonna have a slice, and then like an hour later, I'm like, well, now I'll eat pre-dessert for my next meal, and then I'll have to eat dessert and then by the end of the day, I'm like, I have eaten an entire pumpkin pie today.
Oh, so you've had
and I wasn't supposed to eat the pumpkin pie, so I should go to the store and buy another one so that my wife doesn't know that I ate the entire pumpkin pie. And then that night we'll have pumpkin pie.
Oh, also, if you ever do meet Kobe, maybe if we ever get invited to a podcast convention, whenever they decide it's safe to have conventions again,
right?
If you ask Kobe for his pecan pie dessert recipe, it is. For me, I'm probably gonna go DVD with this movie. I'm not super big into Christmas movies, because usually it's pretty much the same thing, but it's always depends on who's in it that makes it more entertaining. Like I'll definitely have like a Bill. First of all, I should have the entire collection of Bill Murray movies. You know, he's pretty much shaped he's pretty much shaped my sense of humor growing up.
Right.
So yes, I am a smart ass. But for me, I think if you're really into like Christmas movies, this is definitely a Blu-ray movie for you guys. For me, it's probably more of a DVD film. But yeah, awesome movie all the way.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I really surprised that this had slipped by when it came out, that I had not seen this before.
Yeah. All right, guys, we're getting to the end of our episode. So, as always, we have all of our contact information down below. We have our Facebook page that you guys can go ahead and comment, tell us what you guys think. We also have our email if you guys want to send us any themes that you want us to do for the month. And yeah.
If we are wrong on this movie, please feel free to tell us why you hate this movie.
And then we'll tell you you're wrong.
But yeah, definitely like and share and subscribe and whatever you can do. Yeah. If you want us to
never watch a Vince Vaughn movie again, you can go F yourself. And we're gonna call it that. Merry Christmas, guys.
Merry Christmas. And I guys hope you have a great holiday season, and keep following us for more Christmas movies.
Yeah. I mean, this is the first episode of the month, so it's not Merry Christmas yet, but whatever.
Right. Just happy holidays so far.
All right, guys. I'm Barry.
And this is Colby.
And this is Who Watches This. If you guys want to check out who does our theme music, it is Lee Rosevere. It's from the Music for Podcast 3 called Arcade Montage, and her Bandcamp is down below.
Thank you.